أخي أنت حر وراء السدود، أخي أنت حر بتلك القيود، إذا كنت بالله مستعصما فماذا يضيرك كيد العبيد.
Shaker Aamer, the British resident, spent nearly 3 years in Camp Echo in complete and total isolation from any other detainee at all. Its effects can actually literally send somebody crazy.
والقلب يخافق مسرعا كشعاعي وعقارب الساعة تجري لاهثا.
Dear Mr. President, I am Forrest Aamer and my dad is Shaker Aamer. I want my dad back. I want to see how it feels to hug my dad. I want to go shopping. I want him to buy me toys.
We are not going to release anyone if it would endanger our national security.
500 people have been released from Guantanamo Bay, 500. That includes 2 Taliban ministers.
Guantanamo's closure deadline has been missed. Obama should be ashamed of that. And in Britain we are in an election period.
There are 240 people there who have now spent years in legal limbo. In dealing with the situation, we don't have the luxury of starting from scratch. We're cleaning up something that is quite simply a mess.
Do you know what America did to me? Do you know what happened to my manhood, to my izzah, to my honor? Do you know what happened to my faith? Could you have imagined that Americans, the bastions of liberty and freedom and human rights, did this to me? They took me to Bagram, to Kandahar, and the Guantanamo Bay in secret prisons, and they tore up the Quran in front of my face and threw it into a place used for defecation and urination and made me watch. And when I rebelled and went on hunger strike, they forced me to eat. And how did they do that? They tied me to a chair, my hands and my legs and my head. They tied me, they stuck a tube into my nose and pushed it into my stomach and forced in liquid food to keep me alive. Do you know that they did this to me?
My father has been away for 8 years. He was taken away since I was 4 years old. It has been most of my life. My brother Forrest has never seen his father and misses him a lot. Sometimes he thinks other people are his father. Once a man came to do our garden. When he left, Forrest asked my mom, "Is that my dad?" He has never felt what it's like to be with a father or to go out with him. Forrest has had no experience at all of what it's like to have a father, just like every child does.
For over 7 years, we have detained hundreds of people at Guantanamo. During that time, the system of military commissions that were in place at Guantanamo succeeded in convicting a grand total of 3 suspected terrorists. And in 2006, the Supreme Court invalidated the entire system. 2/3 of the detainees were released before I took office and ordered the closure of Guantanamo.
There is no reason for my father to be in prison. There have never been any charges made against him, and he is innocent. My father has suffered for 8 years in prison for no reason. I hope there can be a change now. He has got so many illnesses such as asthma and many physical problems. He is the only British resident there. Take that you understand this as a father and a husband. Nobody would like to be separated from their fathers or mothers. It is nowhere near fun to be without a father.
There's nothing special about him. He hasn't done any crime. This photo is of Shaker Aamer. But I'll tell you, this photo was taken on Eid day. Thanks to God that I managed to take this photo. And little did we know this photo can come in hand now. If we never had this photo, we probably had nothing of him.
I feel upset to see that my dad cannot pick me up after school like others. I want to meet Barack Obama and ask him to release my dad because I feel sorry for him.
Under the sounds and the screams of other detainees and the roar and the din of the engines, being tied to the floor of a C-130 transport plane with straps placed across my ankles and my legs, my ankles shackled, my hands shackled behind my back, and a hood placed over my head, I could make out the flashes of the cameras as they were taking pictures, trophy pictures. And next to me was a Libyan man, and he spoke to me. And I couldn't see him, but he said to me in Arabic that the time for prayer has come, brother. It's time to pray. So at this point, an American soldier came over to me and put a knife to my neck, and he said, if you speak again, I'll slit your throat. At that very point, this detainee said, Allahu Akbar, and he began the prayer. He began reciting the prayer. And I prayed with him, and that was my first ever prayer in US custody. So when people ask me, did the Americans ever let me pray, I always answer by saying, there's no circumstance in which they could have ever stopped me.
The courts have spoken. They have found that there is no legitimate reason to hold 21 of the people currently held at Guantanamo. I cannot ignore these rulings because as president, I too am bound by the law.
We've missed him so much. I hope this letter can make a difference and that my father is released immediately. Thank you. From Shaker Aamer, daughter of Shaker Aamer.
أخي أنت حر وراء السدود أخي أنت حر بتلك القيود إذا كنت بالله مستعصما فماذا يضيرك كيد العبيد